Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 32. Hunter Keister back with.
Okay, Mac, let's go.
Here we go. Going to get into another week in sports, starting off with the later matchups in the college football week 1. We had Florida State, LSU. That was a great game. Came down to the very last second, very final play. Just a great game. And then we also had Clemson and Georgia Tech, which was also had some surprising odds and ends in that game, where you would think that Clemson would just dominate a Georgia Tech team. We will also get into the Thursday night matchup, Bills-Rams for tomorrow, and some NFL Week 1 pick'em to finish it off for this week in sports. So, starting off, I want to hear, Kurt, what was your initial reaction to Florida State LSU?
Man, what a game. Back and forth. LSU was down, looks like 17-10 heading to the fourth. And ultimately, Florida State held on to the win due to a blocked extra point. And LSU came down with a 90-some yard drive to potentially tie it up. And wow, what a great Sunday night game. Really a nice finish to the end of week 1, essentially. Because the Monday night game wasn't really as good as that one, which we all knew.
Right.
But really good game. SEC is still well and alive.
Yeah,
considering they're both unranked.
Yeah, 2 unranked SEC teams are just dominating. You don't see games like that from 2 unranked ACC teams. You know, you just don't. Big 12 teams, 2 unranked. You don't see that. SEC, you know, that's big time football, and you got 2 unranked teams going down to the wire. But it sucks for LSU, and I feel bad for the players. But it couldn't happen to a better person than Brian Kelly. Like, I hate Brian Kelly from his days at Notre Dame. I always will. And that scenario couldn't happen.
He just comes off as such a smug kind of guy.
Yeah, arrogant, smug. Just couldn't happen to a better guy.
And the weird dancing videos were cringe when he got there. Those dancing videos were not the move.
Absolutely. Got his field goal sent back. Let's go. Florida State picks up the win. And
I don't even know. I don't remember who we picked for that one. I want to say I picked LSU, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what? We didn't even pick those because that wasn't a top 25 matchup.
I was thinking, like, I don't think we did, but
we didn't, but we should have because it was a pretty good matchup. But somehow they both weren't ranked.
Right.
So then heading into the Monday night game, Clemson, Georgia Tech. Clemson wins 41-10, and wow, Georgia Tech didn't score a touchdown until the third quarter. It was 14-3 heading into the half, and Clemson just kept on pouring it on.
The game was kind of close up until, like, the fourth quarter. It stayed relatively close.
Well, it was 24-10 heading into the fourth quarter, so for 2-score game, absolutely. Looks like I don't know how to say his last name, but what to say DJ Clemson? I can't.
Yep.
These last names just get crazier and crazier by the year. I mean,
right.
You got I can't say that. 210 yards passing, 1 touchdown for Clemson. Jay Sims, I don't know who that is, for Georgia Tech. Jeff Sims, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and 40 rushing yards. So must have been a little more of a dual threat. But Clemson gets the win. Yep. And AP polls have come out, and there's been a few changes for sure, as we all expected.
Yeah, definitely. Week 1's always just projections, so you're going to have those surprising losses. You know, talking about Florida beating Utah and sending them down the rankings early on. You know, stuff like that happening. So, as the rankings shake out, top 3 was Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yep. Top 4.
Yep, top 4 right there.
2 SC teams, 2 Big Ten teams. Not really surprised. I think that's a fair ranking.
Yeah.
I like that Notre Dame didn't slide too far because they played a good game.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
really did.
Considering everybody had them getting blown out.
Yep.
Oregon went unranked. That's not surprising. I don't even think they're ranked.
That's
Utah
right.
might be ranked still, but
They're still like 13, I think.
wow. Okay. And Florida's ranked, but
Yeah.
week to week these will obviously change for sure. So
Yeah, Georgia Tech being able to hang around is definitely hats out to them, hanging around with the fourth team in the country.
only down 2 scores heading to fourth. It really isn't that bad considering Clemson's
it was
ranked
definitely
fifth.
it was definitely a game. It was definitely a game for most of the night, and I don't think Clemson expected to have to say that in the fourth quarter, sweating that one out.
No way, Jose. No way. Yeah, so overall, probably, as far as I remember, this has been one of the best week ones for college football that I ever remember. Because usually, just for me at least, I remember it takes a while for them to actually get into some of the better games, but this year, they really hit it off right, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Gotta say, it started off with a good week.
Yeah, week 2 definitely isn't as good. You see a couple featured matchups, Kentucky, Florida being one of them. I'll be writing on that one for a preview this week. Check that one out. That's a good matchup. But as for the bigger names, they really just get tune-up games as they get ready for conference play. Michigan taking on Hawaii, and Ohio State getting Arkansas State.
But we'll get to those Friday.
All right.
We preview week 2. So it's finally the Thursday that a lot of folks have been waiting for. Thursday night, game 1, NFL opening game. Buffalo heading across to Los Angeles for a very good matchup, very enticing week 1 game. Super Bowl champion Rams defending at home against the Bills, who were one of the top AFC teams, and really could have been in the conference championship game if not for the Chiefs being very heroic with 14 seconds left. Crazy game last year, but big game tomorrow, and I really think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. 2 high-powered quarterback, 2 good offense and defense. That could even be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
Potentially, yes.
Depending on how the Rams fare against the Bucs and the Bills fend off that nasty AFC.
Whole conference.
The whole conference, yeah. I mean, NFC, you got a couple. You got a couple heavy hitters, but AFC is just top to bottom.
It's gonna be a dogfight.
Top to bottom, just making the playoffs is gonna be hard in the AFC, and that conference is loaded nowadays. But this is a really, really good matchup week 1, and don't be surprised if this is a Super Bowl preview, like Super Bowl pick for matchup. Potentially, with barring injuries and everything like that, but potentially for week 1, it's a great matchup to see how these teams are going to look early on.
Yeah, typically I've noticed with week 1 and football in general, defenses always have the advantage with the first couple weeks just because it takes the offenses time to really get into rhythm. So, if I'm picking somebody to win this game, I'm definitely going with the Rams here. I really like their chances this game and really this whole season to be one of the best NFC teams again, which I guess, I'm not going to just say something just to go against what everyone else is thinking, but adding Bobby Wagner, still having Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey there, you still have Matthew Stafford, who has been having a little bit of some elbow issues, but he'll be good to go Sunday, 100%. He plays through pain. He's really good with that. I really think they'll be good. It's going to be a good matchup tomorrow, but I'm picking the Rams to win this. I like 24-21. I think that's a good scoring game. Not too high, but some good defense will be played. I don't know if Tre'Davious White's playing tomorrow night for the Bills, but I do like the Rams here with I like them to come out and probably. I like them just to hold on to lead, probably like 24-21, 24-20, and it's going to be. I don't know. It's all going to really come down to Josh Allen and what Buffalo's going to do offensively against the Rams defense for me. I think the Rams offense will get going. Cooper Kupp will get going. And it's going to be up to Josh Allen throwing the ball to Stephon Diggs and those receivers they have there. And, let's see Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Diggs. That's a good matchup for sure.
Yeah. Tre'Davious White, I didn't know there was a question on him playing.
So because he suffered a torn ACL last year during the second half, so I don't know if he's playing this Sunday or not.
Got it.
It might take him a few weeks to get back in there.
Right. Well, this could change my answer then. But originally, this matchup is great. It features two great quarterbacks. And I hate going away from Stafford week 1 because I love Matt Stafford. But I'm going 27-24 Bills. That's what I've been thinking as the game's getting closer. I like it to be a decently high-scoring, back-and-forth game with these offenses, but to also showcase some defense with these two defenses not being a slouch. And I need the Rams defense to do good. I got them in fantasy, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Buffalo was actually the number 1 ranked defense last year, so they'll still be really solid, especially adding Von Miller will only help them. And still got a really good safety duo with Micah Hyde and Justin Port. I think his name is Porte. Yeah. It's gonna be a good. I think it'll definitely please everyone tomorrow. Hopefully no injuries, and it's a pick 'em for me. You can vouch for either team to win this one.
Yeah, it should be a really good close matchup.
Go with the Rams. Pull off a close game, win at home. We can head to the rest of week 1 then?
Yeah.
All right. So, Sunday, September 11th. That's when the rest of the games resume. Let's just do a little pick'em then. And just maybe touch a more deep with some of the better games. Okay. Philadelphia going to Detroit. Woo, I think this is going to be a lot closer game than people expect it to be. I do like Philadelphia to come out with the win, but I think it'll be close. I think Detroit will hang in there tough, but probably suffer a close loss.
I actually like the Lions in this game. Ford Field is standing room only for the first time since 2019.
Sold out.
The fans believe. Dan Campbell had his guys ready, and I think they come out, and I think they take it to the Eagles. I think that, like you mentioned, I think that the Lions will be heavily
the underdogs, for sure.
Heavy underdogs. But I think that if Jared Goff can play up to his potential, that offense is good enough that I think they can put up enough points to beat the Eagles week 1. So I will take the Lions in a very close game as well.
All right. San Francisco heading to Chicago. This one is not even close. Chicago is going to get, I want to say throttled, but I just don't see how they win this game. I don't think they'll put up enough points to compete with San Fran. I think their defense is going to handle that Bears offense. Justin Fields isn't going to look too good. Just nobody there to really threaten that Niners defense. I mean, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. There's nobody there to scare the San Fran defense. I think they'll win this game handily.
Yeah, I also did like San Francisco and Trey Lance.
Trey Lance for sure.
To beat Chicago. I think that Justin Fields should have a decent year, but still has no type of offensive line and no help besides Darnell Mooney. Just a rough Chicago offense, and you got to go against San Fran and Deebo Samuel and all them high-powered guys and a really good defense.
100%.
I don't believe they have any chance, and I could see them losing by 14 plus.
They're playing a team that was literally one drive away from a Super Bowl appearance again.
Yep.
So I just don't see it. I don't see it for Chicago, so San Fran is the pick here. Moving on to the next 1 o'clock game. Pittsburgh going to Cincinnati. I've already talked about this one on a different video for my YouTube or whatever. And I think this will be a closer game than what people think, but I'm not picking Pittsburgh. I can't. That offensive line is absolutely atrocious. Trey Hendrickson's going to kill Dan Moore Jr. I have some questions about our secondary outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick. He can only do so much. And ultimately, I'm going to probably pick the Bengals. I'll say 28-17. I think they'll win this game at home. I can't believe in our offense until our offensive line shows some kind of better play because they are atrocious.
Yeah, I don't think this game will be close at all. I think the Bengals walk out of here with it. Joel Trubisky is too raw for me, and going against Cincinnati in that fast-paced, high-powered Cincinnati offense, I just don't think he can keep pace, especially in Week 1. So I like Cincinnati by 14.
It's not really that I'm too worried about our defense going against their offense. It's the fact that I know if we keep giving a 3 and out, our defense is just going to tire out eventually.
Yeah.
Because our it's going to be just like last year, just a bad offense. So Bengals, I think, will win. I think they will.
Especially for Trubisky having no mobility at all, he won't be able to run away from the pressure that's going to come.
Well, I mean, he has actually decent mobility. It's just more or less no offensive line, no run game. You can't your routes with your receivers can't develop, so you can't push the ball down the field. No line, no offense. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, Bengals probably with a 2-score win for sure. New England heading to Miami. This is actually, I think this is a compelling matchup, honestly. Patriots made the playoffs last year. They're looking to have another good year. Dolphins, they barely missed the playoffs last year. They obviously made some huge additions, a.k.a. Tyreek Hill. I think Tua's actually undefeated against Bill Belichick. I'm going to go with Miami here to win because New England has always had a hard time beating Miami in Miami. So I'm taking Tua and the Dolphins to beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I actually am on the same page with that one too. I think that this is a close game and two pretty good teams, but 3-0 for Tua against Bill Belichick, and Miami has always been a pain in the Patriots side.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the heat, who knows what it is, but I like Miami to pull one out at home and start off 1-0.
All right. Cleveland going to Carolina. Oh boy. This is Baker's homecoming in Carolina. This is a good matchup. Yikes. I don't know what to pick. I'm gonna choose Carolina here. I think Baker will. I think him actually playing this year without an injury, torn labrum. I think he'll have a bounce back year, and I'm gonna pick them to beat Cleveland Week 1, even though they're not the better team on paper. There's Week 1 upsets all the time in football. There's upsets all the time, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Carolina, so I'm gonna pick them to beat Cleveland.
Yeah, without watching, I too like Carolina. I don't blame Cleveland for what they did in trying to get what they think is a better quarterback. I'm not mad at that like everybody else, especially Cleveland fans. But I do think they did Baker Mayfield genuinely dirty. In the whole process, I think he was done dirty. So I am Team Baker Mayfield in this situation. I have been. And I do want to see him go out there and beat the Browns.
It'd be nice to see him win against Cleveland.
Take it to the fans that kind of are now trashing his name, that was praising him before. They're now trashing him.
Just flip-flopping.
I would love to see him take it to that fan base and that team and show him, show all of them what he's got left.
Yeah, I mean, really that whole situation became ugly when it didn't need to.
Yeah, definitely mismanaged.
So on to the next 1 o'clock game. Indianapolis going to Houston. I mean, come on now. Houston's going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. They made little to no improvement. I mean, Davis Mills, Brandon Cooks, I mean, he's good, but there's nobody there to stop Jonathan Taylor. There's nobody there to stop Matt Ryan in that offense. So I'm taking the Colts here. Probably a 2-score game at least.
Yes, I also believe that Matt Ryan handles the Texans. The Texans are going to be a bottom feeder in the NFL this year. I don't expect them to win many games at all. I expect them to continue the rebuild with a very high draft pick in this coming year. Hopefully for them taking one of these quarterbacks coming out. But, I mean, Houston just needs help everywhere.
Yeah,
so
they're just a big mess.
I think Matt Ryan and that Indianapolis team just trounces Houston by probably 14 plus. And, yeah, Houston just doesn't have much.
Nobody's going to stop. I just don't see who's going to stop Jonathan Taylor there. I don't see it.
Nobody's tackling Jonathan Taylor.
On to the next game. New Orleans heading to Atlanta for a division game. Division games are always toss-ups. Just because the teams are so familiar with each other. But I'm definitely picking the Saints here to win. I can't choose Marcus Mariota to win this game against that Saints defense. I think they'll have a really good defense this year. I still like their defense. Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan, DeMar Davis, Marshawn Lattimore. They can't lose to Atlanta week 1. I'm not picking them to lose against Atlanta. No way.
Yeah, I still think Atlanta's defense is too unproven. And even that offense, I mean, Mariota's decent. They got Kyle Pitts, but outside of him, Calvin Ridley's gone.
Yep, suspended.
Russell Gage, is that their number 1?
Nope, he got signed to Tampa.
Oh, wow.
He got signed to Tampa. So, really, I mean, as far as receivers go, they don't...
Real slim pickings.
That's what I'm saying.
Even worse than I thought they were off. So, yeah, I think...
I'm just not sure how Atlanta's going to score points then.
Yeah, I don't think they can keep up with that Saints offense, even if Jameis looks average.
What's Mariota going to do? Run read option every time?
Right. This isn't Oregon anymore.
So, I'll say, like, Saints, I'll give them 24-7.
Yeah,
maybe 24-10.
That's a pretty handedly Saints victory for
I mean, it should be.
As well. Yeah, it definitely should be. This would show a lot about Jameis Winston if he isn't able to handedly beat the Falcons with nobody.
I mean, you should at least... I mean, looking at a stat line of at least 200-plus yards passing, maybe 2 tutties, and a pick at worst, no picks.
To that defense, you
shouldn't even throw the pick once.
Yeah. They don't really have anybody that I'm like, okay, that corner, that safety can make a good play.
I mean, they have A.J. Terrell, who had a really good year last year, but we've seen players have really good years and then not be the same.
Fall off.
So,
especially on bad teams.
100%. Maybe someone else was just getting picked on so bad and exposed they just weren't throwing at them.
Right.
Heading into our next 1 o'clock matchup, Baltimore heading to the Jets. So it was just announced today that the Jets are starting Joe Flacco. And there will be no revenge, hometown, whatever. No. Flack, no. The Ravens will come out of this game like 28-10. I like 28-10 here. The Ravens defense is going to be nasty this year. They definitely give
Big Mike, get ready for him. Get ready for him back in the pros. Big Mike.
The Ravens defense definitely worries me. Adding Kyle Hamilton, getting their corners back healthy is going to be huge. And they had a good draft. Kind of concerned about Lamar's weapons. But I do know they will have a good running game because that's just what they do. They get 100 yards rushing every game. And I look for Lamar and that offense to have a good day rushing and control the ball and just handle the Jets. I don't see them losing this game. No way.
Like Kurt said, I like the narrative. It made me chuckle. I liked it. It was funny. But the Jets are still the Jets, and the Ravens could seriously contend for the AFC this year. That defense is only getting better. Only got better through the offseason, and they pick up a stellar, great-minded defensive coordinator who was rising through the ranks in Baltimore before taking a defensive coordinator job at Michigan for a season, and then right back to the pros where he belongs. He is going to be a long-time NFL defensive coordinator. I truly believe that his defense was spectacular for Michigan last year, taking them from one of the worst to one of the best in a year's time. Showed how much and how good his defense is. So I truly believe that Baltimore defense and Kyle Hamilton and guys like Ojabo and the
Marlon Humphrey,
the corners they had
Peters.
before, that defense. Mike McDonald is probably going to do some really special things with that defense.
Yeah.
And I think they dismantled the Jets. I would love to see Flacco make
That would
this a
be
game,
insane.
Though. If he could hang around in the first half, I'd be happy. Like if he could just make this somewhat noticeable game, it'd be funny. Just for the memes. That's gonna be so weird seeing him play Baltimore though.
Yeah, it's crazy how football works.
Right.
You'll never know who you'll be with. You'll never know who you're playing against in 3 years.
It is a business.
Yeah, Ravens for sure. Moving on to the next game. This is a snooze fest. Jeez. Jacksonville going to Washington. Washington Commanders. Jacksonville Jags.
The first overall pick.
Man, does this game end in a tie? Yikes.
Phew.
I'm picking the Jaguars to win this game. Maybe Trevor Lawrence will look better not being under Urban Meyer and actually having Doug Peterson, who is a bit of a quarterback guru a little bit. At least helps his quarterbacks a lot better than Urban did last year. Jesus. You can go either way with this one. I'm going to pick Jacksonville, but, man, this game... Man, nobody is going to watch this game. I'm sorry. Nobody's watching this game except for their fellow fans.
Yeah, that game is terrible. I wouldn't waste a single minute, especially with the other football that's on.
Not even during a commercial break.
The better games, there's still... That's the last 1 o'clock game that I would put on. Every other 1 o'clock game would have to be on a commercial.
I'd rather put on Ravens Jets.
And then I would turn it on.
Yeah.
But I am actually going to take the Commanders and Carson Wentz. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he'll be better than he was a season ago, but I just don't think that the offense is really going to do too much. Like we mentioned, this game is terrible. Both teams pretty bad, but Terry McLaurin, McKinnon, right, for the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them better than the people.
They got Gibson and McKinnon, who's a receiving back.
Gibson.
And then our defense, I think Chase Young's coming back this year for them. Their defense wasn't really that good last year. For Jacksonville, let's see what Travis Etienne can do. He didn't even get to play last year. They had a Christian Kirk, but offensively, this game does not sound very high scoring to me. Sounds like a 14-10 kind of game.
Overpaid as Christian Kirk.
Yeah. All right, so you're going Washington. I'm going Jacksonville.
Yep.
All right.
Of course, you're going Jacksonville.
Hey. Once a decade, we're good. I'm just kidding. All right. On to the 425 games. Okay, this is a good matchup. These teams actually competed pretty good against each other last year. Green Bay, Minnesota. Minnesota and Green Bay actually went 1-1 last year. Really close games. Green Bay is heading to Minnesota. I'm going to pick Minnesota here to win. I'm picking the Vikings. I like their offense. And I like what Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen can bring to the table. Kirk Cousins has his days where he looks really good. I think he'll have one of those days tomorrow. And I think Green Bay, without Devontae, I think it'll take him a minute for Rodgers to really get cooking. But I think Minnesota pulls this one out. 24. I'm 24-20. I'll say it's one-score game, but I like Minnesota to pull the win out.
Yeah, I was also going to take Minnesota too. I think that this series probably ends up getting split with Green Bay taking the one in Lambeau. But as of right now in Minnesota, I think Rodgers does have that kind of growing pains, not having that star receiver to kind of open up the field for you a little bit. And that offense definitely got worse losing him, obviously. But I think that Rodgers struggles the first game to try to kind of get his groove with his new weapons. And I think Minnesota and Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and all them guys steal one from him. And probably a decently scoring game, yeah. For sure.
Rodgers has shown he can be good without his number one receiver, but there's just too many questions right now for me to pick them to week one. Heading to the next 425 game, New York Giants going to Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I'm picking Tennessee here. They were the number one seed in the AFC. I expect some regression for sure, but I do like Mike Vrabel as a coach. I think he's a good coach, good defensive-minded kind of guy. I mean, he did play in the NFL. He was a defensive player. And, let's see what Ryan Tannehill can do, with Traylon Burks, Robert Woods, and Derrick Henry. And I think it'll be a good startup game for them against the Giants. And Daniel Jones, he's not the guy. I'm sorry. It wasn't his fault he got picked first round, but he should never have been a first round pick.
Yeah.
And that offensive line is still a mess. Saquon can't stay healthy. It's the same old thing with the Giants. They haven't been good in 10 years. I'm picking Tennessee.
Yeah, the Giants have just been terrible, and for their sake, I hope they just tank this year and get one of those top quarterbacks and try to start building something, because Daniel Jones isn't it, and I believe that Kurt and I were talking off podcast, and I said Derrick Henry would go for 300 yards.
Yeah.
And he really might go for like 150, though. I think he has the potential to literally run all over the Giants. And
I think he'll definitely score 2 touchdowns. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, sorry defense from the Giants combined with that offense. They'll probably go 3-and-out quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee just rolled them. I don't think the Giants last very long in this one. And they're going to be another Tennessee kind of team that, not Tennessee, but another Texans, like the Texans.
Yeah.
And
just a bottom feeder.
Bottom feeder, yeah, for sure.
Moving on to the next 4:25 game. The Las Vegas Raiders going to the Los Angeles Chargers. This was a very good, Game 2 was really good last year. Raiders won that in overtime. That was towards the end of the season. Actually, it was the last week of the season. And first time they played, the Chargers just dismantled them. I remember watching that game over at a friend's house. This is a really enticing matchup. 2 high-powered offenses, for sure. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Renfro, Darren Waller, Chargers, Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Offense all over the place. High-scoring game, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Chargers added J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack. They got Derwin James. They got Joey Bosa. Raiders, they got Chandler Jones. They got Max Crosby. So, oh, man. This is a good matchup for sure. Division games are always toss-ups. I'm going to pick the Las Vegas Raiders here to come off with a 31-28 win. I think Devontae Adams is going to be a huge addition to that offense, and I think he'll have a really good Week 1 game. I think he'll make some big plays for them this upcoming game. So I got Raiders winning a close ball game.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that the Raiders offense comes out hot, comes out with Adams and Renfro and company, Josh Jacobs, and I think they take it to the Chargers. I think this is a close game, separated by a touchdown or less, and I do like the Raiders, though, to come out in this early matchup and get a win.
Moving on to the next 4:25 game. Chiefs heading to Arizona. Mahomes, Kyler Murray, another offensive, offense. Chiefs, Cardinals, I'm definitely picking the Chiefs here, though. Mahomes just wins, man. He just wins. He wins. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt without Tyreek Hill, adding Juju and Marquise Scantling from the Packers. And they also added, I think his name was Sky Moore, who was a really good slot receiver in college. So, really going to be interesting to see how they look without Tyreek. But Andy Reid's a good coach, and I think he'll pull off a win here for sure. High-scoring game. I'll say Chiefs probably like 30-20, 31-20. I don't think Arizona can keep up with these guys, especially without DeAndre.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that Cardinals offense, especially without DeAndre, to keep up with the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes to still be able to fling the ball to whoever he needs, and he's just a winner, as Kurt said, and he just gets it done with whoever he needs to. So I like the Chiefs. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I also don't think it'll ever really be in doubt, as I think the Chiefs are just going to coast to a win.
Yeah.
In Week 1.
Moving on to the Sunday night football game. Tampa Bay going to Dallas. These two teams played last year on Sunday night football. No, actually, it was the first game of the season. And Tampa Bay got a game-winning field goal to win it. So it's a close game. Wow, if I'm picking someone right now, I'm gonna pick Dallas to win this game. I'm gonna pick Dallas to pull off a Week 1 upset. I think everyone's picking Tampa. I think Brady. There's something going on there that I don't like. To be honest with you, Ryan Jensen's lost for the season, who was a good Pro Bowl center. They still have two really good tackles, Tristan Wirfs, who was a Pro Bowler, and Donovan Smith's pretty alright. But Brady missing training camp due to undisclosed reasons is kind of concerning to me. I don't think they'll have Chris Godwin this weekend. I don't know if he'll be back or not. But Brady always has a quick release, so he'll look to get the ball out fast as usual. But I think Dallas will be able to stay in this game with CeeDee Lamb, and maybe Tony Pollard can play some receiver as well. But I'm going to pick Dallas to win this game. I'll say it'll be 28-21. I don't know what it is, but I like Dallas to win this game for some reason.
Yeah, I can't bet against the GOAT Week 1. I'm going Bucs and Tom Brady. As long as he played, it definitely doesn't sound good if he's going through stuff.
They don't have
reasons, and they lost the center for the year.
They don't have Gamgan Sue. They don't have Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
So they have.
It's not the greatest recipe, but I still think that Tom Brady just finds a way to get it done, like he always has.
We'll see where Micah lines up.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he develops this year for sure, though. I think it'll be a really good game. There's a lot of good games that Sunday. Some boring ones. This is how it goes.
Right.
So that ends us for Sunday night. And then Monday night is... they did this on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Denver Broncos going to Seattle. Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's going back home, and he is leaving home with a win. Seattle, geez. Why didn't you guys get Baker? You really thought Drew Lock or Geno Smith was the answer?
Man,
come on.
I can't believe that.
Honestly, I feel like... Yeah, no, Seattle should have went after Baker. Pete Carroll, what are you thinking?
Right. He's not thinking. He's
not thinking.
He's too old.
Yeah.
Past your bedtime.
Russell Wilson will look a lot better this year than last year. Now that he'll have a team with him, not just having to carry constantly. Really look for him to have a good game. Javonte Williams will be running it. Melvin Gordon's there. Jerry Jeudy will actually become a known name finally. He's been slept on just because no quarterback to throw him the ball. And Denver has a solid defense. Patrick Surtain, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons. I'm not picking Seattle to win at all. I'll say Broncos, something like 21, 24-10. Maybe even 7. I just don't know how they're going to score.
Yeah, the Broncos are a way better team with a way better defense. And, if the AFC wasn't so stacked, if they were in a lesser division, they might be able to come out. I still think they finished probably towards the bottom of that division just because of how stacked it is. But Russell Wilson still will have a very good year, in my opinion, with that offense. And like Kurt said, Geno Smith or Baker, and we're going Geno here in Seattle. Come on now, guys. That offense is terrible. That offense is going to be terrible. The defense is all right, I guess, but terrible.
All they have is Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
And he
can't do it all.
He's just a safety more in the box.
Right. So, yeah, I like Denver probably by a landslide here, as Seattle is just gone from the heavens to...
Could have been a better Monday night game.
Yeah.
Could have been a better Monday night game.
Yep.
So, that's all the games for Week 1. So, we'll see how fantasy goes. We'll see how the picks go, and we'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it.
For sure. Episode 32 is in the books. Starting it off the week right. Get a podcast out to you guys. Hope you guys have a good night watching the game. And we will see you Friday night as we get ready to head to Ann Arbor for the Week 2 matchup.
Heading home, baby.
Versus Hawaii, J.J. McCarthy's first
Time to shine.
It's go time. We're pumped. We're excited. It's going to be a great time. We'll see you guys Friday night. We hope you enjoyed this one, though. Good little podcast to start the week. And Hunter Keister.
K-Mac, we out.
Woo!
Adios.
Peace.